what we need to look at is involuntary manslaughter. Basically, what that requires is that somebody acted without due caution and circumspection. And it's a negligence standard, meaning would a reasonable person have done the same in the same or similar circumstances? Now, somebody had asked about case law in New Mexico. We are actually very limited with case law on that, especially dealing with crops and that type of situation.
Okay, so what would a reasonable person do in those circumstances? So remember, there are many different kinds of homicides, and not all homicides are crimes. So let's be clear on that. But this is criminal conduct that's being alleged here against Alec Baldwin and against Halya Hutchins, who was acting as both the armorer and the prop master on the Rust movie set. It's a 4th-degree felony, and we're talking about something that was unlawful and actions that might have produced a death because of negligence. So I want to take a look at the law. We have it. We can put it up on your screen so that you can see it here. This is the actual statute we pulled. If you're curious, all the laws in the various states in America are, of course, different because the states are sovereign here. This is especially for all of our wonderful Court TV viewers who are abroad in the United Kingdom and in various places. So this is how New Mexico lays it out. So here it is the involuntary manslaughter that is being charged here. So let's be clear about what part of the homicide statute they're going with here. Are they going to be able to meet their burden of proof? We shall see. Let me bring back in my guests for some more discussion on this point. I have with me 2 gentlemen that are both practicing criminal defense attorneys, Daryl Cohen and Josh Ritter. They both also have served as prosecutors. And I also have with me an expert in movie set safety, prop master and armorer, Dutch Merrick. Dutch has also served as the president of his local IATSE union chapter as well. He's had an illustrious career in Hollywood, and he knows how tragic this is. So you gentlemen are really great people to talk to about these charges. And Josh, let me go to you, tapping into everything that prosecutors have to consider. This took an awfully long time for a decision to be announced. I know that 600 pieces of evidence were gathered by the Sheriff's Department. 3 firearms were retrieved from the scene. 500 rounds of ammunition perhaps were examined. I mean, a lot went into this, lots of interviews done. Talk to me about the weighty decision to file charges in a case like this one, where nobody meant for someone to die.
Yeah, absolutely. And they did do an incredibly thorough job and took their time, and we understand why now. It is a difficult decision. Putting aside for the fact for a moment that you're dealing with a celebrity and this horrible killing on set of a movie, any time that you're dealing with charging someone, holding them responsible for the death of someone else where there doesn't appear to be any clear intent is going to be a decision that the DA's office is really going to have to mull over in their heads. Now you're dealing with a very small county. They've never experienced something of this kind of media attention before, this kind of magnitude in the past. They're dealing with a high-profile celebrity. They know that everyone is watching. They know that people like ourselves are going to be talking about every step that they take. And so they really went about being thorough about this because they realize what's on the line here in charging this person, and are they going to be able to prove it? Because that's the last thing you want to do, is bring these types of charges and then not be able to back it up.
Exactly. Well said, Josh. Daryl Cohen, let me go to you next on this one, please. We know that one of these individuals who was involved in this incident has already accepted a plea agreement offered by the state. His name is David Halls. He was the assistant director on the film, not to be confused with the director, Joel Souza, who wound up being shot in the shoulder by the same round that killed Halya Hutchins. Dave Halls has accepted this plea to the charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon. It's a suspended sentence for him and an agreement for 6 months of probation. We haven't seen the plea agreement. It's going to be filed eventually with the court, and we'll get to take a look at it. But do you think that plea agreements were also offered to Alec Baldwin and Halya Hutchins?
I would be very surprised, Julie, if they were not. I suspect the DA's office wants to be thorough, as they apparently were. But they also want to put this behind them because by charging Alec Baldwin what he did, again, in my view, unless there are other facts that we are not yet aware of, he was a reasonable person. And as an actor, there's this whole chain of events before this gun is provided to him. There is no way an actor should know that the weapon is loaded with live ammunition. So I suspect there was a plea agreement offered, and I also suspect, don't know, that they turned it down because in Alec's opinion, in his lawyer's opinion, it was a tragic accident, that he was the end of the road, but he had no way of knowing what was the road before him. Had no way of knowing there was live ammunition. And there shouldn't have been.
Right, there should not have been. I know Dutch Merrick agrees with that. Dutch, more questions for you coming up, and you, Daryl, and you, Josh. Thank you all so much for